Go for it, but
Excuse me. Please. 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 So, welcome to another episode of Heel and Toe.
thank you.
I wasn't welcoming you, but okay.
Why am I not welcome on my own show?
Because you're already there on the show.
Okay, fine.
You are a part of the healing and towing.
Okay. Who are we doing today, bro?
Our emotional baggage.
Caesar is not there today. Anyway, so today we're talking about
Citroen
and Kia.
Kia.
Why are we talking about Citroen and Kia?
Citroen, because Citroen is Citroen. We like Citroen.
Well, okay. The reason why we are talking about Citroen and Kia is because we think that, at least I think, I don't know if you agree with me, but I think that they're similar kinds of brands. They're not particularly luxury outside India. They're somewhere in between normal plain Jane cars and luxury cars. I do understand that. I think in America, Kias are positioned slightly below Hyundai's, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, you're
But
right.
in India, the positioning is higher than Hyundai's, but lower than obviously all the Germans, much like Honda. And Citroen is another brand which is trying to enter that space. The thing
I
is,
think just one point. It's a similar thing with Skoda and Volkswagen, right?
yeah,
How Skoda is positioned higher than Volkswagen in India,
yeah,
but it's the opposite in Europe and
yeah,
everywhere
everywhere
else.
else, yeah.
Continue.
Another thing with both of them is that they're both unique brands. Like they have they're slightly quirky brands. Citroen particularly is quite quirky.
Yes, very quirky.
Yeah, and has a lot of potential because both of them make quite good cars. That's a really nice answer.
Mm.
Wow.
Hey.
Yeah. So similar kind of space both the brands have, and I feel like both the brands have tremendous promise. The difference being that Kia seems to have really like hit the ground running and has done a fantastic job. Of course, being associated with Hyundai obviously helps, being a subsidiary. Hyundai has many years of experience in the Indian market. Citroen, on the other hand, I don't think has the same kind of luxury, which is why they're still trying to find their footing here.
I mean, Kia, it was a boon for them that they had the foundation of the Hyundai network already in place,
Yeah.
and they just had to build on it,
Yeah.
and which they did marvelously.
Yeah.
I think it's been one of the biggest growing brands in India.
Yeah.
Because for a new brand, Indians have a fear of whether they'll be able to, have such a good network, a service network,
Yeah.
that outreach.
Mm-hmm.
And since they had the Hyundai foundation,
Mm-hmm.
that's one worry of the Indian consumer base taken care of.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said before, not on screen, but yeah, you were saying that Kia and Citroen were entered the Indian market at a similar time, not at the same time, but at a similar time. They had completely different approaches to the market.
Yeah.
They are in completely different segments also. Like the Celtos is in a different segment, the C5 is in a different segment.
Ah.
That was their first offering also, right?
Yeah.
So they started with different segments. Kia has been very aggressive with their outreach and everything, and they hit the ground running like crazy.
I feel like they did a fantastic job of identifying which segment to launch into, because
True.
that was the period of time when SUVs and CSUVs were particularly growing. Like right now, I feel like it's the demand has kind of plateaued. Like there is a lot of demand, but it's not growing every single day. It's consistently a lot of demand. But when they had launched, it was the beginning of people like really losing their minds about SUVs.
SUVs, yeah.
And they had a fantastic product out. It's a
The
really
Seltos.
it's a really nice car. Very very luxurious inside. So you really feel like you're upgrading your life. and
it's a very handsome looking car.
it's a great looking car.
And at that time, it was like refreshing to
Yeah.
have that SUV
Yeah,
out there.
yeah, absolutely. Everything else, yeah, it looked very different from everything else on the road.
For me, I think one of the first things that I was thinking about Kia when they came out was like I was not very convinced of the kind of brand reputation they'll be able to build here. Because Kia didn't have much of a reputation outside India. I mean, it got better because of the Stinger and the sporty
Yeah.
approach to their cars
Yeah.
in the recent times. But before that, they were like nothing. They were like the Dacia of the world, you know.
Yeah.
And somehow they were able to grow out of it in a good way. And it's got a decent reputation now in India.
Oh yeah.
Kia.
Kia has I feel like it's got a good reputation. There is a lot of hate somehow directed at the Seltos, particularly. I don't know why, amongst the in all the forums and everywhere. I don't know. I don't know the reason.
Is that true? I haven't noticed that.
I noticed it a lot. But because I feel like it quickly accumulated a lot of fanboys, and the moment some brand accumulates fanboys, immediately there were a bunch of haters as well.
I would consider myself on the wall, but okay. Like I appreciate for how it looks, but not a fan of the car itself. Yeah.
Because I really like the car because it gave Indians a fantastic product to upgrade into from their hatchbacks or whatever.
The amount of features are amazing.
The interiors are really beautiful. There's a lot of space inside, and it's fairly comfortable also, as much as I understand. Citroen, on the other hand, when they were testing the C5, I was very excited because my assumption was it will come around 18-20 lakhs maybe.
Yeah.
It will compete with the Compass, but then that was not to be.
Completely different shock.
Yeah, it was much more expensive than that. Right now it sells for 37 lakhs. That sort of money for a brand that people don't really know or aren't really aware about, I feel like that's very optimistic of them.
Plus, I think one of the reasons why it was so expensive was when they first got the Citroen C5 with the CKD. So, but
are they making it here now?
I don't know, actually. I'm not sure about
because they're making the C3 here.
The C3 is being made here, but I don't think the C5 is being made here.
90% localized.
Yes.
The C3, I think, is a great car. I mean, I haven't driven it yet, which we are on the way to do.
Yeah, we are actually on the way to the Citroen La Maison.
Yes.
If that is the right way to pronounce it, but it is?
La Maison, yeah. So
he's excited to drive the C3 and I'm excited to drive the C5 for the second time.
You have driven the C5?
Yeah, in Pune actually.
I didn't know that.
You did? Okay.
No. How was that experience then? Talk about that.
I'll tell you what I felt.
Okay. I mean, that's what I'm asking. Yeah.
Obviously, the C3 was not there at that point in time.
Yeah.
It was only the C5 that they were selling at that time.
Yeah.
So, the C5, I'm used to the CRV, okay? CRV is something that's one of the best SUVs I felt like I've driven. Now I call it an SUV. Yeah.
It's an SUV, but like...
Okay, fine. Let's not go there. But yeah. Until I drove the Hexa, which changed my mind about, Tata. I love the Hexa. I felt like it drives better than the CRV also. I mean, it's expected because the CRV, the one I'm driving, is almost a 15-year-old car. So, but yeah, there are not many cars that drive better than the CRV. And then I drove the C5. What a car, man! It blew my mind. It blew my mind like crazy.
In what way?
The way it was so comfortable. It was cozy, comfortable, and the way it glides over bad roads. It just glides over bad roads. I felt like I was on Aladdin's magic carpet.
Right.
Like there was this patch of road that I've been living for like 2 years in Pune. It's just mud and stones.
Right.
Okay, and I wouldn't say mud, but it's like dust and stones.
Right.
And even like the CRV is a bit of a stiff suspension, so it was never comfortable on such a road. I couldn't go faster than 30 km/h on that road. Okay. On the CRV.
Right.
On the C5, I was able to do 60 km/h with no discomfort.
Nice.
it did not feel like it was going on a bad road, man. It was just so composed, so comfortable. I was like, man, this is automotive heaven. It just felt that comfortable.
Nice.
And as I get even a bit of that comfort into the C3, it'll be an amazing job.
Yeah.
It'll be an amazing, amazing job. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. I would still be surprised, but if Indians are not buying that,
Yeah.
consider they want ride and the disconnect from bad roads, and if they're not buying the C3, I'll probably be ashamed to call myself an Indian from today.
That's extremely extreme views.
Yeah,
One
but-
reason I believe is that it's not been promoted really well. At
Oh.
least that's my feeling. Because I do regularly get Instagram ads for the C3.
But not the C4.
No, I mean, I get the C5 also. No, I'm talking
Right.
about the C3 particularly.
Okay.
One big factor also is that in all of Bangalore, there is
Hmm.
just two showrooms that they have. One in central Bangalore
Hmm.
and one in almost Electronic City.
Yeah.
That is a bit of a stretch for people to like if you're in Whitefield, it's a bit of a stretch for you to like test it out and take the time out to go test ride it and decide to buy. I mean, there are several Tata, Maruti, Hyundai showrooms across the city,
Yeah.
and to have just one service center is kind of extreme. So
True.
those things, if I think they are in the process of taking care of those things. So one thing is marketing. I feel like they should probably put out ads. Like I have. It's been a few years since I watched TV. I think, so I'm not aware if Star Plus and Sony and or I don't know if these channels are still alive. But if they are, I don't know if Citroen ads are coming on those channels, because I saw the Seltos ad on the channel, like on the TV for the first time. And I think that was the last time I watched TV. It's purely
Was that the reason why you
unrelated.
stopped watching
Purely
TV?
unrelated. But I hope they have better. They have some ads. They create some buzz, because it's a French brand. It's a unique company. If you go through their other
True.
cars,
It's actually one of the brands that managed to maintain. Sorry to cut it into your thing, but it's one of the brands that managed to keep its unique quirkiness,
Yes.
a character of its own.
Yeah.
They managed to maintain that character in the world of platform sharing,
Yeah.
where that character just disappears across platforms and brands. But Citroen managed to keep a design language, a brand heritage, and that quirkiness that makes it very unique. And on the roads also, when you see a Citroen.
It is very curious that somehow Peugeot and Citroen share platforms, but they all ride much stiffer and are much like better handling generally, and Citroens are generally much more better to ride, like much more comfortable. I don't know how they manage to do
I
that,
think they
'cause
tune the
usually-
suspension such a way.
Yeah,
that-
because
yeah.
usually platform sharing, both the cars end out to be the
True,
same.
true.
It's
Agree.
not much of a difference. So that's great that they've been able to find that balance.
I mean, the unique part of Citroens also are the suspension, right? You know how,
Yeah.
like, I think with the DS
Yeah.
itself, it started with the hydraulic suspension and
Yeah.
everything. So, I think that being a strong point, they managed to bring a suspension probably, I'm just guessing here,
Yeah.
that they can, change the character of it between the Peugeot and the Citroen in a way that Peugeot is sporty, a bit more, let's say, I think slightly more driver-centric, but Citroen is much more comfortable.
Yeah.
It's more pleasing, it's more quirky, it's fun. It still is fun that way. But man, the C5, I just love the interiors. I know you don't love the interiors as much as, like I think you like the C3 interiors, but C5 interiors being very
The
dark.
C3 interiors have more character, I would say. It's colorful, it's brighter, it's a nicer place to
Yeah,
be in
yeah.
terms of visual appeal. But I'm sure
Mhm.
the C5 has more comfortable materials, costs thrice as much, or 4 times as much almost.
Yeah, but I love the way that the interiors are designed. The screen visuals,
Yeah.
I love the font of it.
Mm.
It's just really, really, really well made.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to sit in a Citroen again. And guys, don't kill me because I said that I would be ashamed to be an Indian anymore. But yeah,
Yeah. Another thing is that one car that has really caught my attention, not in terms of me imagining buying it, but just seeing it on the road and making its presence felt, is the Kia Carnival, which I think is a gangster car, as G would agree.
Yeah,
It's an
yeah.
absolute gangster car. Like, if you're a gangster and you're not driving a Carnival, then you're not really a gangster, are you?
Or if he is driving the Omni at this point and he's like planning to upgrade to the
Yeah.
Carnival at some point in life.
Yeah.
The Carnival is the right car
skip
for
the
you.
Innova. Skip the Innova. Just go to the Carnival.
Yeah,
directly.
yeah.
And if you have an Innova, you can always upgrade to that. There is that. And if you're like such a big gangster, you can like ferry a gangster. Then you can probably think of getting the Alphard, or what is it called?
The Toyota
Wellfire.
right?
The
Wellfire,
Wellfire.
yeah.
So apparently there is some difference between the Alphard and the Wellfire. I didn't know that, but there are some very small, subtle changes that they made.
Probably. But if
Anyway.
you are a gangster, I think you can use the Wellfire to like transport yourself,
Yeah,
and your minions can go about in the
Carnival.
Carnival. Yes.
But if you're not that big a gangster, the Carnival is always a good place.
Yeah.
So, and the Sonnet is a fantastic car. Like it's really, really nice. It looks spectacular for the size, and it's very well kitted out, as all Hyundais are. And it's pleasant to drive, as much as I've understood, and comes at a decent price. So I think it's a great product. Are those the three products that Kia has? I mean, there is always the EV6, but that is something.
That is something else. Yes.
It looks spectacular. It looks
I
like
know.
what a Jaguar should look like, I would imagine. I do feel like they have taken inspiration from the I-Pace, the car that I deeply, deeply love. But it's beautiful to look at, and perhaps someday we'll get to drive one. Fingers crossed. But yeah.
The fact I love about the EV6 is that it's very station wagonish. It's a bit GT-ish. It's a bit shooting brake-ish. But that's what I love about it.
It's basically a Jazz.
It's still a stretched Jazz, I would say.
Yeah.
I think it's very much longer, right?
Yeah.
Should I go from down? Yeah.
Down.
Below the bridge. Yeah, so I love how the EV6 looks. It's not as loud as I'm not saying it's loud, but it's in a very subtle compared to Seltos and everything, but still very elegant and classy.
I don't think it's that loud. I think it's quite loud. I really like how loud it is.
I think the proportions is what makes it loud.
Yeah,
But the design
it's
itself
got,
is not over designed.
Fantastic proportions.
Yeah,
The wheels
yes.
and the DLO, and it's really nice.
Mm.
DLO being the daylight of the windows and the windshield and the rear view pane,
Yes.
which the new Polestar has gotten rid of. So I don't know how I feel about that.
Mm.
But yeah, I think Kia still has a lot of holes to plug in terms of the segments, because I feel like oh yeah, we forgot one more Kia car that exists. It's the Carens. That's quite a popular car right now. I think it's selling almost as many as the Seltos, which is amazing, because it's slightly more expensive and slightly bigger. But if you want a really comfortable, almost luxurious car for 7 people, I think that's the best option right now in the market. Unless you want
Other
to
than
go
the
for the
Carnival.
Safari. Carnival is substantially much more expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
In that segment, I think it's like 14-15 lakhs. I think that's the only one.
Yeah, I'd say.
Because the Safari is considerably more expensive than that. Like
That is
Safari
also there, but
around
also
20.
Safari, I think the third row is a bit cramped.
That's
I think. I mean, looks a bit cramped. But yeah, I think they have done a good job of redesigning the front. It looks new to the market. It looks a bit fresh.
I
But-
really like the way it looks from the front. It's really nice. And the
Yeah.
rear looks way better than the
Seltos, right?
Alcazar.
Alcazar looks dated from the rear.
Yeah. The
But-
front is anyways polarizing, much like the Creta.
Mm.
But the rear is also not that great because at least the Creta has a really beautiful rear. I mean, I don't think there is any polarizing happening.
No, yeah,
regarding
it's
the rear.
pretty.
It's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, around 15-16 lakhs, I don't think there is any other 7-seater available. So,
Sorry, I did not expect that. Right.
yeah, I mean, what is this road? It's like empty, like we are the only
Yeah.
people on the road right now.
Next to the guy who's walking that tree for some reason.
Office of the Principal Accountant General. Wow.
Man, how are these roads empty?
Look at the roads, man.
I know.
What is this? It's amazing.
You're gonna go to the Citroen here.
I mean, the Tiago trying to overtake us. Tiago.
But yeah, I mean, I really wish Citroen pushes more cars. They should sell the C3 a bit more, like push the C3 a bit more, because that's like the entry for the Indian market.
Yeah.
And one more thing that you mentioned, that the customers wanted more features in the C3,
Mm.
and Citroen did that with the Shine
Yeah.
variant.
Shine
Yeah.
variant.
So kudos to Citroen for doing that, for listening to customers
Yeah.
and bringing what they want.
Unfortunately,
Uh.
the Shine is only available for the naturally aspirated model, not for the turbo model. I don't understand that because I feel
Hmm.
like even the electric variant, which is again fantastic, kudos to bring out an electric variant so soon to the market.
Hmm.
And they're doing like they're selling a good number. I think 800 plus every month. The last 2-3 months that it's been on sale, which is great.
Considering the number of dealerships that they have in
Considering the
cities.
number of dealerships that they have. So I feel like that the Shine variant for all of the all of the propellant, all of the powertrains is the
Mm-hmm.
right word. All of the powertrains would be good.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe it's in the pipeline.
Yeah, I hope so. Certainly hope so.
Mm.
Because then I would seriously consider getting the C3 EV top spec.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look like Tata is bringing out the Punch EV
Punch EV anytime
soon.
soon.
And I don't know how far the Curve EV is.
Curve, I think we can only expect in 2025 or something.
Yeah. I know where we are.
You know?
Yeah, this is the museum.
Right. The maps.
No.
No?
Maps is there.
Oh, this
is
is modern.
The NGMA, yeah.
Yeah.
National Gallery of Modern Art.
I think I've been to this place like thrice so far.
Wow. How? When?
It's just a company that changed.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. But yeah, it's a really nice place. That's
It
how
is,
You,
it
that's
is.
how you do a museum.
Yeah.
It's been a pet peeve of both mine and G's that there isn't enough great museums in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Because mostly what they'll do is they'll just plonk stuff and they'll not take care of it. There will be no maintenance. There'll be no names or anything. There's no story that is being told. It's just like we have this artifact. Take it.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Take it and go.
Watch it and leave. Don't have any context. Don't have any
Yeah.
idea as to why. Wow, what is that building? I love it. I love old buildings.
And Bangalore
that's
is the right
so
place for it.
cool. Yeah, Bangalore has a bunch of old buildings. I love it. I love Bangalore. In case people didn't know this, I love the city. I feel like I'm almost at the precipice of pretty much settling in Bangalore. I need to start learning Kannada though. I would really like to be able to speak in Kannada and become one with the people.
What's the JLR showroom to you?
Body.
And this is the
Somehow there
Porsche.
is somehow
And a
there
Merc.
is
Just sitting right
there's a
outside.
green Defender inside and an I-Pace.
Look at the orange C3.
Yeah.
Should we
I'm
park behind
trying
it?
to look at a green Defender.
Should I park behind it?
Sure. I don't think that looks really nice.
It does.
But the green Defender, buddy. The mint green Defender with mint green alloys. One way.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hey.
So,
Oh yeah,
what
that
an eventful day.
that. The moment you say it like that, I remember that we are recording. Yes, quite an eventful day, quite a wonderful day. I loved it.
What a day, man.
I loved it. I loved whatever we did. We can actually say what we did. We are
Yeah.
just beating around the bushes.
Let's start with Citroen though.
Yeah, let's start with the starting.
So the
Uh,
first car we drove. No, let's not go over the drive yet, I guess.
Okay.
Let's talk about the interiors
Okay.
of the C3. You start.
Why am I starting? Fine, I'll start.
You're the customer here.
There is that. So I liked the interiors of the C3. I liked how color has been used. It's quite bright and nice. The way the surfacing, the little details on the dash, all of those things are quite nice. It feels spacious enough. Like it's not the most spacious car out there, but it feels spacious enough. I feel like, for example, my parents would be quite comfortable in the back seat. I don't think they like there is enough space for them while
Hmm.
also being a relatively small car, like it's a sub 4 meter SUV, so it's not huge, it won't take that much space on the roads,
True.
and taking it around roads seemed quite nice because of the small size.
Yes.
I'm not talking about the drive yet, but I'm just saying the small size really look at that building. Wow, I love it. Something nicer was written. I
But also adding to that,
Huh.
it didn't look awkward in its proportions in any way. The way it's a bit lifted and it still has a very French elegance.
Frosted.
Yeah. So I still love how quirky the interiors are.
Yeah.
Like you said, the use of color,
Yeah.
the materials,
Yes.
the plastics could have been a bit better.
Much better.
Yeah. Especially when you're paying around 10 lakhs. Whether it's a C3 or whether it's
13
a...
lakhs.
Yeah, that's for the electric.
Yeah. So if you're paying 14 lakh rupees almost,
Yeah.
you do expect a Honda City level of
C5!
finesse.
C5! C5!
Oh, that's a really beautiful color on the seat.
Yeah.
Doesn't that grill, not the grill, the jolly thing obstruct your vision a bit? Or
You
does
can
it not?
still see through, no?
Yeah, matlab, I'm just asking if it is.
No,
it-
no. It
What is
doesn't.
he trying to do? Why is he climbing on top of this?
He wants to go straight basically.
Those tail lights are really beautiful. They kind of fucked up with, they kind of messed up with the present gen, the new gen. I feel a little bit. I also wanted to ask when the C3 Aircross was coming, and I forgot. That would be an interesting car. I really,
Again,
really
even the
like
showroom
tail
experience
lamps.
was really
Please
good.
go. Amazon, if you have free time in your life and you don't know what to do, please visit a Amazon show.
Yeah, because the people were very
Nice
informative.
Yeah.
Informative. They knew their shit.
Yes. People, by people he means mostly that one person that who he interacted
Yeah.
with. We don't know how informed the other people were.
Yeah.
But yes, that
yeah.
lady did a fantastic job of
She
explaining.
took her
it.
time.
Yeah.
She was
didn't
informative.
pretend to be very busy and
Yes.
on her phone all the time. Or
Yes.
why did you come to the showroom? Wink, wink, cough, cough, Tata Motors.
And she was not like pushing the features of the car or anything.
Yeah.
She was very elegant that way.
Yeah.
Like, uh,
I
why did
like.
she write?
Oh, it's a-
Oh, RCB. Okay.
oh,